The Oruga Podcast.
Somehow somebody's always looking the other way. Now look at these guys. They look busy, right?
Michael B. Jordan is actually a really good actor, and I actually do like him, but he's just not that iconic. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? He could literally steal everyone's girlfriend. What do you mean?
He could. Yeah, of course. He could have any. And for the rest of my life, I'll never get a woman that would be like, Michael B. Jordan, he's ugly. I like you better. There's
if a girl says he's ugly, she's lying.
She's
to you.
lying to you.
Welcome to the app. Be sure to check out our Oruga shop. We make shirts and hoodies that are comfortable and stylish. Follow @ShopOruga and visit orugastore.com. That's ORUGA store.com.
Beat produced by Saipuda. Check him out at saipudabeats.com.
It was kind of funny. Google on the trending page was... The first thing on the trending page was the Chinese Army.
What?
And I was clicking on it, and they were... the Chinese Army was in Cuba, or they've been in Cuba for a long time, apparently, which is fucking crazy. Yeah, isn't that wild, dude? We might have another Cuban Missile Crisis, which is... it just makes me so uneasy. Because you know how we're in... What's that country? Taiwan? No, it's not Taiwan. It's... What makes every... They make all the chips in the world.
Is it close to China?
Yeah. It's the most armed island, honestly, at this point.
The Philippines? No.
God, no. The Philippines are so far from China, yeah. I think. It might be Taiwan.
It might be Taiwan.
It might be Taiwan. Honestly, I'll look that one up.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Taiwan.
But, yeah, just shit like that. I mean, to go over current events. I still can't believe. Have you gone over how, in Castro?
I'm not
the
big
history.
in history.
You're not big in history?
I'm trash.
That's so
history
crazy.
and theology, trash.
Yeah.
Same with English. Language, trash. I'm only good with math and science.
I'm only good at math and science. Yeah, you keep telling yourself that, and you will be that. It is Taiwan, yeah. Taiwan's the city that's so close to China, and that's the one that we support as the United States of America. We support Taiwan, and you remember the chip issue, the chip shortage during 2020?
Yes.
Yeah,
the cars, the whole field of F-150s.
Dude, and every single used car was more expensive than a new car.
Yeah, for
real. That was so crazy.
I like old cars too, so more than new cars. So
yeah.
I went by the 2001 Audi A4.
Mm-hmm.
The price almost doubled. It was insane.
Mm-hmm. I remember my mom was selling her Dodge 3500, a dually. She was selling her Dodge dually. Okay, and this was a 2005-ish or something like that. No. Excuse me. This is a 2000. No, she was selling a 2010, I think, dually actually, and she sold it in 2019, and then the year later, that price of that dually would have doubled.
Yeah.
And it was just just shit like that. It's so crazy how I never thought that the used car market could just flip like that.
It's insane. I think a car on a good car with under 100,000 miles and looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Even a luxury, it was 4K back when we were in high school. So
oh yeah,
2017, 2018, that type of era.
Gosh, my favorite shit was when I was in I was 10 years old, and I would get the used car apps, right. KBB and Carfax and all that shit. And man, you could find VW or not VW bugs, but small VW sedans for $5,000, with leather and okay radio shit.
It's sad.
I know. It's so crazy how affordable cars used to be.
Wouldn't you think that would be like they'd pay us more or something so that we could, so it would still like feel the same, like the same amount of work and effort would have to go into getting that car or anything that you wanted on with inflation.
I guess.
I feel like it feels like it's way harder now.
Less affordable.
Before. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Everything's getting way less affordable. Soon I'll stop being able to go to like a restaurant or anything like that because hell, dude, I'll go to McDonald's and I could easily spend $15 on something that was $8 before. In the past 10 years, everything's just dramatically increased. It feels like a 60% price increase on like most things.
How do you feel about like eating out versus like shopping and buying groceries?
And buying groceries as a 22-year-old male who's a bachelor, bro, like it's not. I don't enjoy going grocery shopping. I don't enjoy cooking here. I don't enjoy it. Like it's literally the death of me. But
I should say cost-wise, like, do you feel like it's better to go out to eat or going out to the store and buying food
and then cooking here?
Cooking it.
Yeah.
Money-wise?
Yeah. Oh, going to the grocery store 10 days of the week, bro. Oh, going to the grocery store is so much cheaper. And especially if you go to like a grocery store that actually kind of caters to the lower end, like Trader Joe's.
Okay. Dude,
Trader Joe's, that's fair. You can buy everything that you need for under $100, and it's like decent frozen food. It's it's okay cheeses. It's decent juice. Like
I've never been to a Trader Joe's.
You've never been to a Trader Joe's?
Never been. Where is one even?
Where is one? Well, I know there's one like so. Listeners, we currently live in Cincinnati.
New Jersey, no.
Yeah. Like Crestview in Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah, that's the only, but there's plenty of Trader Joe's. And
are they in Ohio?
Yeah, of course.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can look it up, but I'm pretty positive.
I've heard of it. I've heard the legends about them being, like, super cheap and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And, like, it's like Aldi. That's what I think of it as. Yeah,
but it's like a higher end of that because, there's one above Norwood. Man, this is east of Milford. That's fucking far. Anyways. Have you ever been on Montgomery Road?
I don't even know.
You don't even know?
Math and science.
Dude, shut up. Math and science was the only thing. That's funny. There's only 2 locations, and I named one of the 2 locations. Anyways.
That's crazy.
What about... There's Trader Joe's, but then there's also the other one. But it's just like the Superstore. What is the Superstore?
I know you're talking about... It's like has like all the countries in it. That one.
Yeah, it's got every single nationality's food. It's got Chinese food. It's got Jamaican food. It's got South American food. It's got African food. Oh my gosh.
The fact that I don't know is sad. That's so sad. I need to know. Oh.
I forget too, but
Jungle Gyms.
Jungle Gyms. Yeah. That's a great place. I'm a big fan.
Go in there. Pretty nice. I wish I knew how to make all the ethnic foods. Like there's so much like different sauces, different types of grains, beans, like saying I don't know, I've seen some Indian people like cook and they'll like grab like the most random stuff and just throw it together and make like probably their equivalent of like a 5-star meal.
You know how you're talking to me about your chemistry test that you took today?
Right.
Yeah. So fucking cooking is literally chemistry. Like they're literally putting like different, because plants are the best chemical producers. It's actually funny. We can't produce as well as we can't produce chemicals as well as plants can. So plants are literally the best chemical producers. And when you're cooking, I mean, like that's all you're doing is just fucking putting chemicals together, and hopefully it tastes good to our human mouths. So Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of cooking. I was talking to somebody recently about Cuban food and like the different types of Cuban food. I can't relay what that conversation was about because
Did it seem weird? Like,
she was super sweet about it, but she was like talking super quickly about Cuban food and all the different types. And you know when somebody goes in depth with particular names, and then you just get caught in a conversation where you're like, oh yeah, that sounds good, I'll order that next time.
Right. Like they use, I feel like different cultures, no, it's not like I feel like, I know different cultures definitely use different veggies. They have their own fruits that we don't have here.
Oh yeah,
and they have their own name already. It's just like
have you ever looked at like African fruit?
Some.
They're so wild. They're
crazy.
They're so alien looking.
My sister, well, my parents went to Africa last summer, and my sister was trying to like describe a fruit that she had. Yeah. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, it's like the best fruit I've ever had. It's like small, like a halo orange."
Sure. And
she was like, "It's a little sour, but when you eat it, you get like a little drowsy." But it tastes amazing.
But it tastes amazing. This fruit makes you drowsy?
Yeah, like you can't eat a lot of it. Either you get like sick, you get drowsy or something.
That's crazy. Wow.
Wow. And it's like, she was saying that you peel it like an orange, then it has like a sack. And you have to like open that sack.
Whoa, like a placenta sack? Like what kind of sack are you talking about?
I don't know, really... Like a lime, kind of. You know how, like, when you peel a lime, there's still going to be, like, that hair to it. Okay. More than the wood orange. Okay, so I guess this one's a little bit more than that. Like, more of a thicker layer.
Okay. Like a banana inside of an orange?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Dude, I was thinking about how, like, it's so crazy how bananas feel so engineered now. Do you know what I mean? Because you know how easy it is to peel a banana? Like, it's so wild how easy and accessible that fruit is. I don't know. It kind of
blows. Have you seen, like, the old banana with the seeds in it?
No, there's seeds in banana. Oh, in the center? Where, like, the black stuff is supposed to be? You know what I'm talking about?
Like, it had, like, big seeds in them. I don't know.
Really?
It's like the food before we, like, started farming it. Like,
yeah.
There's some pictures.
What do they call those? They call them
GMOs?
Yeah, GMOs. GMOs, yeah.
Like, all you're doing really, I can't say that 100%, but for the most part, what you're really doing is just taking out the prettier looking plants, taking those seeds and then planting them, and then eventually you get like a super big tomato. Super big grapes.
I'm no scientist, but I'm pretty sure it's like dog breeding.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you're just picking the best. You're the best offspring, and then you're like, let's just kill the rest of them. Like, that's how I always thought.
You get an easier to peel banana. You just keep breeding those ones that are easier to peel.
Dude, okay, you took engineering, ENED, right?
Took ENED, yeah.
Okay, I remember in that class they were talking about GMOs and the science behind it and how they like basically. I don't want to say engineered because that was engineering class, but like the scientific route that they went with making GMOs, and I just remember them talking about how we have a limited food supply in the world, and that our rising population will eventually not be able to sustain, like our food supply cannot sustain our population up to 2050. So it's like they were like thinking, okay, we're gonna have to re-engineer food if we're gonna be able to feed all these people.
Was that like a question or like
no?
A statement.
It was a statement.
That's crazy.
It wasn't a question. It was like mathematically, we have this amount of food, we have this amount of land, and we're gonna have this amount of people. This amount of people is gonna go over the is gonna be too much for the amount of land and for the amount of food we can produce. And that's when they were talking about like nitrogen and like how to like replenish land and how to like replenish crops, and
that's crazy.
It was like a really cool week in that engineering class, but then after that they were just on to the next subject.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. My teacher last semester at Oak came to I shouldn't even say teacher, I should say my TA, teacher assistant.
Okay.
And he was telling us that, like, they dump so much, like, chemicals into our dirt. Like, I don't know, Roundup, is that what it is?
Yeah, it is Roundup. Fucking shit, dude.
Destroyed all agriculture, and there's, like, forever chemicals in
What was
the
that?
dirt.
What was that?
It, like, destroyed
No. What was that word?
Agriculture?
Agriculture?
Wow.
Sorry, keep going.
Wow. Picking on, non-Native Americans. Not joking.
Born in this United States of America. We had the exact same education.
At least you have the Social Security card. I have one.
Okay, so what was the TA saying?
He was saying the dirt had forever chemicals in it, and then you would, like, so you grow something in the dirt, chemicals are in there, then it goes to the plant that you grew, and then like an animal would eat it, and that chemical will stay throughout the whole process, and then once that animal dies, it releases those chemicals.
You're saying the animal that eats the plant that absorbs Roundup keeps the chemicals in its body? It doesn't, like, piss it out or shit it out?
I don't believe it's Roundup, but, like, something, like a chemical combination of some sort of fertilizer.
Okay.
Maybe it is Roundup and it, like, breaks down into that chemical or something like that.
Okay.
But it's, like, that some sort of fertilizer that we should not abuse in our plants.
Not fertilizer, but because fertilizer, the definition of fertilizer that I use as a Kentucky boy is that fertilizer should be topsoil or something that has high nitrogen, meaning cow poop, horse manure. And there's really nothing. I mean, like, you could use, like, random animals' manure, like, chicken, but it's not really as good as cow and horse manure. But
so what do you think about what is
pesticides?
Pesticides?
That's the word.
Okay.
Pesticide. Yeah, because I have such beef with pesticides. Such beef because when you a pesticide, when you are trying to get rid of, like, weeds on your property, so usually you'll spray your weeds before it rains, or in a dry season, so the plant is desperate to absorb a water-like substance, and then once you spray that weed or your desired plant, there's also going to be, like, extra pesticide, and then, like, once it rains, that's just going to go into your rainwater. And then that's just going into your rivers. Like, to say that you can spray pesticides and it's not going to go into your water sources is absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's literally we're poisoning the fucking earth using pesticides, and it's so wild. Like, I have such beef with them. And everybody who's like, it doesn't go into I'm spraying it over in this field, like, this river's all the way over there. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you're not.
That's crazy.
Like, that. I can't believe people actually, like, think that when you spray a pesticide, it doesn't go into your rainwater. It doesn't go into. I'm not using it right.
Your plants and then just disappears.
Yeah.
I wish. I feel like, I don't know if it was even pesticides that my teacher assistant was talking about. It could have been something else. Could have been something else that they were talking about. Whatever it was, whenever that animal eats it, so, like, gave that scenario, put it in your dirt, grows a plant, animal eats it, animal dies, and then it goes out into the atmosphere, and, like, it's in
the gases of the animal who dies. You're saying, like,
the gases or, like, the way the animal decomposes back, like, spreads the chemical, and it also goes in the air, like, it's in our ozone. Okay. So it's like, it's everywhere. It's in all humans. And it's like,
this pesticide, Roundup. You're saying that's in me right now?
I'm not saying it's Roundup or it's even a pesticide. It's just a chemical that we use for agriculture at some point in time.
Roundup, if you're trying to have a sponsor.
That's crazy.
Just hit us up at Shop Oruga.
Exactly.
or the Up Podcast and be a sponsor of ours.
That's crazy. I would love to, be sponsored by Roundup. I'd wear their shirts.
That'd be cool. I would love that too. We can get free Roundup. We'll spray all of our plants.
Literally, my plants are dead, so I think that'd help.
I have indoor plants, and if I actually started spraying Roundup in all my plants, I think my cat would die. I think instantly, because she likes eating some of my leaves, which is pretty cool. But yeah.
But this chemical is also it's either, I don't know which one it is. It's either extremely toxic to us or to the environment.
Okay.
So it's just this cycle, and as life goes on, as the years go on, it's more and more of this chemical is being produced.
Sure.
It's just apocalypse. We're gonna be an apocalypse pretty soon. The next apocalypse.
The next apocalypse. That's pretty cool. I saw a Daywalker today. I was going to Starbucks. And
what is a Daywalker?
A Daywalker? It's just it's a funny term I'd like to... in sci-fi, a Daywalker is a vampire who can walk in the sunlight.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
So Ashley, but...
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. So, but this Daywalker was with long ass hair. He was probably 70s. But he looked like he was 90 years old.
That's
you know
crazy.
what I mean? And yeah, I don't know. I just kind of anticipated he would have a chant "Must kill John Lennon," because he was looking rough.
Nice.
Oh gosh, God bless him though. But yeah.
Why are you hating on this man?
Why am I hating on this man? I don't know. I just see so many.
You're just so white.
No. Just I see so many people who look like they're homeless, but they're probably not. But they're they just look really rough. There's a lot of people in Cincinnati who look fucking rough, bro. You take a drive, and then, I don't know, every single exit you go to, there's panders now. Or
yes, literally.
It's literally panders on every single block. And I've never seen a city where we're we're not going to address it. No, we're just gonna let them have their. I don't know. I've seen guys who God bless them. I'm sure they've had hard lives. I'm sure there's a reason why they're on the side of an exit asking for money. I'm deadly sure that there's a reason that they're there. But the thing is, it's so crazy how as a city we're not addressing it, and how I saw a guy. This is probably a week ago. This guy was clearly suffering from a mental illness. He was clearly schizophrenic or some derivative of schizophrenia.
Right.
And he was literally yelling at cars, screaming at them. And he was pointing at each person's car and just...
Wait, was that day I dropped you off?
No, probably not.
We saw a guy just... Was it around here?
Yeah, it was. So, okay. I'm going to go into specifics. It's the... Okay, so... to get onto the 71 highway.
You're giving out your location?
No, this is the fucking... I'm talking about a metropolitan area. So we live in fucking Cincinnati, and one of the major highways in Cincinnati is 71. And one of the exits that I enter into the 71 highway is Liberty Street, okay? And this Liberty Street entrance to the highway had a guy just on the side of the road, just screaming at cars. And he was, a typical homeless looking meth user. He had all the tattoos up and down his sleeves, and his tattoos were actually really good looking, I have to say. But he had the meth user's jaw and face. You know what I'm talking about? Dude, yes. Meth users have such a distinctive face.
It's kind of scary.
It's so scary. Isn't it so scary how meth users are so distinctive?
It's weird.
It's not I couldn't.
Now I can't say that because I think I knew someone that used meth.
Mm-hmm.
So Describe. Yeah. You pulling up a picture?
I'm pulling up a picture because it's so distinctive. Because they're like, their jaw and their nose kind of their jaw gets more square.
That's so weird.
Do you see that?
Go to that one right there. That's
it's
insane.
So terrifying. And look, she looks like a pretty girl there, but 2 years later,
it's their jaw and
their jaw and their nose just gets really. You know how? Okay.
What's going on with the nose? Is it?
It just gets eaten up by this like.
I see.
I don't know, man. Look at this. She's 22, and then 23. Her face is all ate up. God, and this girl is so pretty. Look at this girl.
Where's the little like acne come from? I don't understand that.
It could be two things. It could be self-harm.
I see.
So they
scratching and like.
Yeah. Okay. So like, I don't know what it is, but when I'm a fucking college student. So when I'm in college, I'm sitting at a desk for 8 hours, at lectures, at libraries, and often I'll put my elbows on the counter and then I'll touch my face. That's just and then I'll have acne immediately, like you're doing right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
I'm scared.
Well, every single time I start school, I notice immediately I have acne, and I don't think it's stress. Right. It's because the first fucking 3 weeks of college are the easiest weeks of college that you'll ever get in your life. It's because you're just going over the college course. You're going over how you're actually going to start the course and what's to be expected of you, and it's the easiest time to be in college is the first 3 weeks. But I always have acne because my face is always I'm always touching my face. And I think it's the same thing with these meth users, is they're just touching their face out of anxiety or whatever the drug induces to your mind. Right. I think paranoia. Oh, they also say that your skin crawls. I'm saying this in quotes. Yeah. Skin crawl. So you'll feel.
I saw it in the Breaking Bad.
Yeah. Good source is Breaking Bad. So
legendary.
Yeah,
sponsor us.
Sponsor us. Breaking Bad. Anyways, so I just think it's just something like a heroin user. I don't think I could point them out.
I mean, they have all the. Well, if they.
I'm talking about in public.
Yeah.
I'm talking about you go into a coffee shop and the person in front of you. You know what I mean? I don't think you're going to be like, oh, you're a heroin user. You just can't do that.
They have, you can tell their hair's thinning. And then if they have a lot of, bandage and, scars and stuff.
Sure.
If you're on heroin and you get hurt, I believe it takes forever to heal. And if you take, I don't know what the medication is called, but you have to take a medication to, get off of it so you don't, die from withdrawal. And if you have, a wound or something, it comes out through that wound.
It comes out through that wound. So you're saying that if you take the medication, the chemicals coming out through that wound?
Or something like that. So you...
The FDA.
Yeah, the meds.
FDA, fact check us.
The meds don't work as well, I believe.
Sure. Okay. That's wild. Yeah, I don't know.
That's all I know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't take heroin or meth, so when I start trying it, we'll see. I'll have to write a paper on it.
Don't try it.
I'm just kidding. But I've heard the withdrawals of heroin are so massive. Because it's supposed to mimic flu. It's supposed to mimic the flu. So I remember, gosh, I do not remember what podcast I was listening to, but it was with Joe Rogan and some comedian, and this comedian was getting clean off coke and heroin. Okay, and Joe Rogan came up to this, having this podcast with this guy, and he was I don't know, I think 180 days clean.
Right.
And he also had a gambling addiction as well.
I see.
And what he was saying is that when he would fly to a city, that he would when he would fly to the city, he would get a cab, and then on his way to the hotel, he would ask the cab driver, hey, where should I get some blow? Where can I get some cheese? And so that's how he would, and that was to make sure that he wouldn't have withdrawal symptoms before he went on stage.
That's crazy.
So he would literally go to a city, ask for heroin, and then make sure that he could get heroin before he would get on stage so he wouldn't have withdrawal symptoms. Like, what? Imagine going to every city in the United States of America, and then the first question you have is, where can I get some heroin to not have withdrawals? And then he'll go on stage. Hi.
That's insane.
What? That's so crazy. It's so wild.
That's insane. That's really sad.
I know.
I had speculations.
Sure.
But I had a manager that was speculated to be on meth.
Okay.
He didn't have any like the bruises on his face.
Sure.
Marks, but I believe his chin was kind of like, his jaw was getting messed up. His teeth were absolutely destroyed. Like he had the black rotten teeth.
Oh.
I don't know. I just don't know how you can be someone of like such a high stature. Like you're the boss.
Right. And you're subsidizing.
Addiction. Yeah, but like that's pretty tough.
How do you subsidize a drug addiction and then also you're you actually work in the workforce?
Yeah,
that's so wild to me.
And you're like up there. People will look up to you. People come to you for questions, for advice, for important things all the time. You have to be there. Pretty sad.
And like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't like working. I could not work and then also have that kind of a drug addiction. You know what I mean? Like, how do you even become a functioning human being at that point?
It's really crazy.
That's crazy. And also the black teeth, bro. Like, I'm so specific about my teeth, you know? Like, I want my teeth to look good. That's just like...
Not only does it look bad, but I know his, like, teeth are killing him. Like, that has to be painful.
And you're probably getting gum disease, right? I mean, like, it all starts at the root. Your gums are like the main support of your teeth. So if you don't support your gums, then you're not supporting anything. Yeah. And I mean, you'd have to worry about gum disease like none other, bro.
I feel like smoking is something everyone does. Not everyone, but a lot of people do, like tobacco, cigarettes.
For sure.
How do they do it? Do you know anything about that? Like how? Because you know when people smoke cigarettes, like it destroys their teeth and whatnot. How do they manage that?
Like, my grandfather, he smoked for 40 years, and, like, I always think about that. And he also, like, my grandfather has a collapsed lung, too. So he only has one lung, and then he smoked for 40 years on that one lung.
What the heck?
Yeah, dude. And he got that collapsed lung from the military. So, like, while he was active duty. I don't know. Like, he was an active member of, the U.S. military. And he got a collapsed lung while being an active service member, and then like he gets a check, like a disability check for every month. But he smoked for 40 years and his teeth are okay.
That's insane.
I don't get it. His teeth aren't yellow either. His teeth look perfectly fine.
Jesus.
And he had COPD while in the military.
That's insane.
And he smoked for 40 years with COPD. Like, what? Maybe it was 20 years. Maybe I'm wrong on the duration of how long he smoked. But it's so wild to me that...
Maybe it's like technique. Maybe there's something that he was doing.
Technique?
Like, seriously.
I'm not going to hold this smoke in.
Literally, maybe that's it. No. I don't know enough about
it's still going into your mouth, and then still going out of your mouth. You know what I mean?
Maybe he just does it out the nose every time.
You wouldn't be able to smell ever. You know what I mean? You'd be able to rip the biggest farts around him. He'd be like, what are you laughing about? He wouldn't know. He wouldn't know at all. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how tobacco people, or not tobacco people, but people who dip, they're fucked. They're fucked from the beginning.
Their teeth were destroyed?
Yeah, usually their gums, because the tobacco...
It's just sitting there.
Right, like...
Tobacco is extremely hazardous chemical. I mean, nicotine is an extremely hazardous chemical.
Yeah, whatever, bro.
Extremely poisonous.
It's a cool thing, though. Like, I get it.
You have to be in a hazmat suit.
Yeah.
If you're working with it. Around
do you really?
Pure nicotine, you gotta be in literally a hazmat suit.
Well, probably because if you touch pure nicotine, Yeah. If you put that on your skin, I'm sure your skin it does immediately absorb it. Yeah, bro, that's true because of the nicotine patches. How could they have a patch if your skin doesn't absorb it? You know what I mean? Your skin has to absorb it.
I actually don't know if it absorbs or not. I feel like if
Dude, your
anything
skin?
gets absorbed, it has to be oil. So maybe they put it make it oil.
No, dude. So? No, not at all. I think if it was let's talk hypothetical right now. If there was a pure brick of nicotine ran in front of us, 1 kilo, and we touched it with our finger, I don't think it would be a great thing. I don't think, you know what I mean?
I agree.
I don't think that's a great thing because every time you see nicotine, it's like dissolved in a leaf, or it's dissolved in in some particular fashion. Like when you have a cigarette, you're not smoking 100% nicotine. It's probably like 5% nicotine, just like alcohol. Yeah. I couldn't imagine if you touched pure alcohol. I don't know how great that would be. It would probably burn your skin.
Probably evaporate faster than anything.
Evaporate?
Alcohol?
I have no idea. Actually, I'm talking out of my ass now because I don't think alcohol you can absorb. Well, I don't know. I just don't know. Let's look it up.
You can barely keep it down in your body. Like, it always tries to get out.
You know how alcohol's poisonous too. Alcohol is a poison. Like,
well, there's different types of alcohol. What alcohol are you referring to?
Fermented. I don't know. Like the shit that gets you drunk. You know what I'm talking about? Like that kind of alcohol.
Fair.
But I'm definitely positive that they have figured out how to not synthesize, but that they figured out how to get pure. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like like moonshine's supposed to be like 70% alcohol. You know what I'm talking about? And you're only supposed to take shots of that.
I'm pretty stupid, but
what?
I should know exactly how to make pure alcohol. I don't know I can't even say I know anything about it, but there is a chemical reaction that makes pure alcohol. And there was a professor at Cincinnati State, Cincinnati State or the Ohio State University, that would do demonstrations for his students. And he would do that reaction and make he'd take 2 deadly chemicals, 2 deadly chemicals, mix them together, kind of like salt, like 2 deadly chemicals, 1 liquid and another liquid, mix it together, wait for it to react.
Sure.
And then he tells the students, if I'm teaching you guys this crap wrong, and this reaction is not occurring, and I drink this, I should die. But if it does go this way, I'll be extremely drunk. And he would then drink it, and then he'd become extremely drunk. So drunk that he'd be groggy for a week, and his son or children literally have to drive him home from the class.
And he did this in front of you guys?
Not at Cincinnati State or the Ohio State University. I don't remember which one.
You don't remember which one?
Which college it was? No.
You don't remember?
One of those 2 colleges.
We should damn one of them. I'm just kidding. But you're telling me that he would drink it and then he would just be debilitated for a week?
For a couple of days at least.
He was out of it. Jeez, why would he do that to himself?
I don't even know. I bet it's
just
his favorite demonstration to do.
I'm sure. Yeah, he probably just hates his life, and he's like, "This is the only time I can academically get fucked up. I can academically get faded." What a fuck.
Looking for comfortable. Looking for comfortable and stylish apparel? Something right up your alley? Oruga has a collection for you. Monochrome features sleek black and white designs. The Workweek and Thermal features pops of vibrant color. Check out orugastore.com for unique styles and streetwear.
It is possible to absorb alcohol through your skin, but it's a very minute amount.
I see.
So that, I saw a couple numbers, but it says that, it's just only a percentage of alcohol gets absorbed through your skin. So it would have to be such we might be talking about a bath,
right?
And then you get
bath.
and then you get fucked up. But yeah.
And I bet you wouldn't even get fucked up. You'd just be a little
burned.
buzzed.
You'd be burned. Are you talking?
Burn you?
Yeah, I would assume. Imagine, you know how rubbing alcohol, you put rubbing alcohol in your hands and you might get like a little like, or like how, this is a great example. When you were a kid, did you ever play in the grass and then you were handed an alcohol wipe?
Right.
And then you could feel that burn?
Only when you cut yourself.
But I'm assuming that if you have that much alcohol around yourself, you might have
a different type.
You might feel them. Maybe. I don't feel like it is.
It is a different type of alcohol.
Okay. Let's say you have like you know how they would sterilize things back in the day? They would use alcohol. So like if they
Yeah, but that's not drinking alcohol. Oh wait, yes, they would use drinking alcohol to do it. Yeah.
Yes, they would use drinking alcohol.
I don't know actually if you can get drunk off rubbing alcohol, but don't drink rubbing alcohol. It'll just give you a stomach ulcer.
No, you probably
get drunk. That's completely different. But yeah, I believe you can use alcohol to clean like wounds and shit.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course.
Like drinking alcohol. Well, there was another thing that they used it for.
What, like
maybe they were sick or something.
What is it? Pre-1800s or pre-1900s, I mean.
Even now, malaria? Can you like drink alcohol and like it would kill malaria?
Stop.
Is that correct?
You're probably talking shit.
You know who you sound
like right now? Trump.
Dang, that's crazy.
You should just inject yourself with bleach and you'll be fine.
There was some disease that made you like crap your pants and throw up.
Oh, probably malaria. Yeah.
Would alcohol cure that? Or maybe it would just kill the germs like on the surface, like your hands and whatnot?
I'm not sure. But I do know.
It's kind of like COVID when you said.
I do know equine, so like horse world. When there is a pandemic in the horse world, if you travel from barn to barn, from like horse farm to horse farm, and you interact with those horses, that during like a pandemic they'll have you scrub down like with alcohol, and then they'll also have you clean the bottoms of your shoes.
I see.
Just like they'll make sure that like most of your body is like sanitized, just to make sure that the pathogens that, I don't know if it's pathogens is the right word, but the virus, the horse virus doesn't carry from you. Yeah, like that you're not a carrier. And it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild how they do it. Like every single animal has their own sets of viruses. That's what's crazy. And that's actually, let's go back to that. You're saying like, the deer eat some Roundup and then like all that. So I forget what they call it. What disease that the deer.
Like, I know what you're talking about. Or like it's a zombie or
yes,
something.
Dude, and dude, it's so crazy how, and it affects so many. Oh, you gotta look it up because it's so wild.
Does it affect more than deers?
No, not deer, but yeah.
Deers.
Whatever. Multiple deer. I'm just gonna look up deer virus because.
Wait, so you're telling me the plural of deer is deer?
Yeah, of course.
And what's the singular one called?
Deer.
So it's deer and deer.
Yeah. They're both the same. Chronic wasting disease. And it also affects elk, reindeer, Sika deer, and moose.
Oh yeah.
Moose
is that
as
the
well.
one where they eat the lily pad and then they get it? Have you heard of that?
What are you talking about? I've just heard. So it's from decomposing. I don't know. I'm actually gonna talk so far out of my ass that I don't know.
Fungus.
Is it a fungus?
I think it is fungus.
It's pretty. It can. So humans can't get. They call it CWD, chronic wasting disease. But it can't be transferred to humans. But they like get mentally taken over, right? Like by this virus, and this virus literally. Well, I don't know if it's a virus per se, but it's. They just call it a disease.
The whole population of deer.
Yeah.
Destroy all of them.
They've been saying that like if you see one, you should shoot it at sight. Like if you see one that's affected, because most diseases, once you kill the animal, usually the disease dies with the animal. Same thing with humans too. Like that's why it's more sanitary to be around a dead person than it is a live person, because a live person can transmit the stuff, but a dead person, it's almost nearly impossible to get transmitted something that they had.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so they say just kill them on sight because they're affecting the deer population so heavily.
It literally wipes the population supposedly of deers.
The first, like, I don't know if this is the first recorded thing of it, but a popular infamous thing with this disease was recorded with cow. They'll call it mad cow disease.
Oh.
And
isn't it if you eat it, then you like slowly die?
Yes, dude, that does transfer. So mad cow disease was an issue that that cows would be. I don't know if I'm reciting this correctly, but I'm gonna try to be accurate. That mad cow disease was when somehow their brain or spinal fluid would be recycled from a cow, and that somehow it would get recycled, and another cow would eat
a
cow's brain or spinal fluid. So that's how we also. So as humans, if you or I ate another human being's brain or spinal fluid, it would give us this basically the same disease.
That's crazy.
So, it just makes you go mad, I think.
Wait, if we ate the cow's
no, we'll be fine.
Humans.
If me and you eat cow brain, nobody cares. Like our brains don't care. Like our bodies are not affected.
I see.
But if we eat the same species brain or spinal fluid, it like your system goes haywire.
Didn't the Native Americans like chop open human skulls and like lick them or something?
I don't know, man. I don't know. You would have to go into history about that one, but
that's crazy. I don't know if I believe you.
You don't know if
I think we can eat human brains.
I mean, I'm not gonna try anytime soon.
Me neither.
That's a federal crime. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
There has to be someone that's done it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And they're like, I'm doing it for science. Oh no, you know what motherfucker would do it?
Beethoven.
No, get the fuck out of here.
Franklin.
No, who's the guy? Who's the guy now that Armie Hammer? Have you heard about Armie Hammer? Okay, Armie Hammer. He's a really famous actor, but Armie Hammer, his fetish is eating flesh. Okay, so like
human flesh.
He enjoys eating human flesh. Like that's his kink, supposedly. And like he's had multiple issues with girlfriends, like accusing him of branding them. So yeah, bro. So
what do you mean by
he'll like psychologically break down his girlfriends. I'm saying this in quotes. I don't know if it's his girl. These women. He'll have relationships with these women, and he'll like want to eat their flesh. He'll like want like a rib of hers, and then he has branded like a spot above their vagina. Like he would brand his name in her skin. Like not cool. That's shit.
Weird.
Really fucking weird shit. And like there's been DMs posted, and they're supposed to be real, of him having a back and forth with this girl about like, oh, the only thing I would really want is to eat your flesh. And
eat his flesh?
Yes, bro. No.
Oh.
Okay, here is a thing. Here is like a direct quote. You just live to obey and be my slave. I will own you. That's my soul, my brain, my spirit, my body. Would you come and be my property till you die? If I wanted to cut one of your toes and keep it with me in my pocket so I always had a piece of you in my possession. Like this is also another one. I am 100% a cannibal. I want to eat you. Fuck. That's crazy to admit. I've never admitted it before. I've cut the heart out of the living. Bro, this dude is off the chain crazy.
That's insane.
And he's a trust fund baby. He's just like he comes from a family of wealthy ass people, and his entire family has a history of being nuts, just like absolutely crazy. I don't know if it's the same.
How do you know this man?
How do I know this man? Oh man, he's literally a brilliant actor.
I see.
He's such a great, that's the thing. I didn't know he was a crazy person. So, oh man, he has a movie with Johnny Depp. He's brilliant in it. He's
Pirates of the Caribbean. No.
Nah, get the fuck out of here. It's like Tonto and not Hombre, but
I think I told you I don't watch movies.
Shut up, bro. This movie is actually like amazing. I have to look it up because it's such a good movie that I mean, like, it's one of my favorite, I don't know if it's one of my favorite movies, but it's a great movie that he's in.
With Johnny Depp?
Yeah, with Johnny Depp. The Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger, bro. It's a good movie. I don't know, I've always...
What's his name again, the actor you're talking about?
Armie Hammer.
Armie Hammer.
Isn't that such a interesting name? Like,
sounds like something I'd stick in my fridge.
Yeah, bro.
Fresh.
I know. It's, yeah, but, yeah. Imagine that. Imagine Kahaya. Your girl. Huh?
You're gonna, like, take off my hand and, like, eat it?
No. Imagine your girl. Alright, your girl's like, the only thing that I want before we're married is one of your
toes.
No. I don't want your toe. That's not enough. I want to eat one of your ribs.
Oh my god.
So I know a surgeon. We can just have the quick operation and then we cook it. Like, bro.
Hey, you know what? In his defense.
What defense do you have, bro? And what defense do you have?
Have you heard the story when you give an African a cookie?
What are you about to say?
So.
Can you just clarify that
so,
you're a black man from Africa?
Oh, my bad. Is that not?
No. I think you just have to say that you have a little bit of authority to say this.
You know what? If you cannot tell that I'm a black man from Africa as a listener, that's pretty crazy. That's racist.
That's not racist.
I'm joking.
Anyways, what is it? So you give a cookie to an African.
Yeah, you give a cookie to an African. So
do they have to be Egyptian? Do they have to be from Nigeria?
Starving. They have to be starving. No food.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Let's say you can't go to Africa, right?
Sure.
And you see the starving,
it's lovely there,
bug-eyed children that you usually see in the commercials.
Okay. And it's like, all the way from an angel. Like those kind of songs.
Right. And you brought, a packet of cookies.
Okay.
And then you gave the African kid that has no food a cookie. Like, that is the best thing that child has ever ate in their whole life.
Okay. All right.
So once you leave, they're going to want that cookie because that was like the best. It was like crack cocaine. Like
okay.
The best thing
sugar.
Ever.
They
Literally.
had first time having sugar.
That'd probably be it. They would go crazy for it. They'd do anything until they die to get another cookie.
Okay.
Nothing will be as good as that cookie.
This was the first time they had it?
Exactly. And it was
so
the last time.
Where did you get this philosophy? Who taught you this philosophy?
Africa.
Okay.
No, my parents told me about it.
Your parents gave you that philosophy.
Gave me this philosophy.
That's really fascinating. Okay. You should test out that philosophy yourself. I'm a little curious on that.
You think they won't go crazy for no cookie?
No, I think they're just a human being that probably wants food, man. Like, I
don't know, but
and not to laugh about that because that's not a laughable subject. But I'm saying
like
that
him, though, like he'd be like after he ate that first human rib,
sure,
he's probably like, dang, I'm hungry, but I want something special. I want something special.
So it's like an unattainable thing, you're saying?
Yeah,
that, like,
but it's like good. It's like so good.
Man, your
It's
wires
like,
have your wires have to be so crossed if you're like, the only thing I desperately need is a rib. I need a human rib. Like, that's
Remember
so
the bread
disgusting.
thing with the back in the day when it was swords and horses and all that in Europe, like
Bro,
queens and kings.
be more specific.
Queens and kings.
Are we talking about the
Britain? Is it Britain? It is now Britain.
Okay.
What were they called before that? Were they always Britain?
I don't know. I honestly don't. I don't know the history of
There was
it.
like a queen and there's no food.
It was just
and
England.
They beheaded her.
Okay.
Remember that story?
No, not at all. Are you talking about during the Middle
she
Ages?
had-
Are you talking about the Dark Ages? Are you talking about the Renaissance? Are you talking about the Enlightenment period? Are you talking about the Classical period? Bro, there's so
I think
many
it was
periods.
past classical, like, dang.
Past Classical? So, okay. Classical, from my understanding, the Classical period is like from the
Do you
mid
know any
17th.
queens?
You know, I was taught that in American history. Not American history, but like, you know, I had American education, and they, in high school, went over it for our sophomore year. In our sophomore year, we had like probably a couple months going over all of European like history like that. And
I think it was my freshman year.
whoa, dude, isn't that such a disservice that they did? They really went over the like. I think I learned about the American Revolution for years.
Yeah.
I learned about the American Revolution for years, but I know nothing about like the Dark Ages,
Right.
the Middle Ages, the fucking the Renaissance. I know nothing about any of that.
That's why it's so hard for me right now to like convey my point, because I keep thinking of all these other things,
Right.
like, other periods I have not learned about. I'm like, I only know one,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't even know what it's called
Right.
at this point in time. It's been years.
Oh.
But it was my freshman year, and they're teaching us about the history of England and how they own the whole world, basically, at that point in time.
So, okay, Google is being but Google's saying that the classical age was 500 to 336 BC.
That's crazy.
But I guess what I refer to as the classical period is the music classical
I
period.
see.
Do you know what I mean? So the musical,
Like when
classical-
they're in like, the dresses and stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah. So that was from 1750s to the 1820s. And then the Industrial Revolution happened, I guess, around 1820. So let's look up the industrial.
I'm gonna just keep spinning facts about this period of time.
Go right ahead.
There's like a famine. There's no food.
Mhm.
And there's only bread. And the price of bread like skyrocketed
Okay.
because that was all there was to eat. And then eventually it came up to a point where there was no more bread, and then people were super hungry and they're going crazy. They
Yeah.
made like a big, like revolution,
Mm-hmm.
revolt, I should say.
Okay.
And they stormed the castle, and they took the queen, beheaded her, and like started hanging and like guillotining all. I don't know if it was all, but the vast majority of the.
The monarchs.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're like the dukes and the duchess
There's
and
no food.
yeah.
They wanted that good food, and the lady like
They wanted
had
that good
cake.
food.
She had cake in there, in her like castle. She was eating good. She was fat.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Shit happens that way, huh? To change gears a little, the Egyptian like, I don't know what to call them. The kings, I guess.
Right.
They weren't kings. I guess they were
Emperor,
emperors.
yeah.
Sure. I don't know what the proper term for their authority was, but most of the Egyptian rulers, that's probably a better word, ruler. So most of the Egyptian rulers were fat.
I see.
Fat as hell. But the thing is, most of their statues do not depict that. Most of their statues look elegant, look pretty.
Correct. What
Yeah.
the heck? I didn't know that.
Oh, they're all fat. They're all fat as hell. Because what are these people doing? They're not.
Oh dang, you're getting fan with the big leaf. And
Yeah,
fed grapes all day long.
you're
cool.
in Alexandria, bro. You're in Cairo. It's hot. We should just stay in the shade and eat grapes. And yeah, I don't know.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
How do they know that?
How they know that?
Do they look
Because
at the mummies?
apparently there were some statues that the artist would make, and then in hiding they make them.
see.
Do you know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
wouldn't. I don't think it was kosher
I
to
see.
just make a fat emperor statue. I don't think that was cool, at least for the emperor standpoint,
I
because
see.
he's talking about you're talking about
His
legacy, not hers. I'm just kidding. Not to be a sexist, but yeah, the legacy, man, and they don't want no fat statue
Yeah,
to be
for
their
sure.
legacy.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like something Trump would do.
Oh, Trump, if he erected a statue in downtown New York, it would be a lean, mean, killing machine
For
statue.
real.
You know what I mean? It would be like, have you ever seen, so I went to Philadelphia recently, and they have a, not Muhammad Ali, but Rocky. Rocky's not even a real boxer.
Right.
But there's a Rocky statue in Philadelphia. It's the stupidest shit in the world. So I've been to Philadelphia a few times. I like Philadelphia. Philly's cool. But they at their Philadelphia Art Museum downtown. The Philadelphia Art Museum is really cool. It's got like a lot of like Renaissance and like and it's got a lot of Renaissance paintings and like, you know, if I'm talking about the classical period during 1750s to 1830s, they have a lot of those paintings, and they even have some I forget the artists, but that doesn't matter. It's a nice museum,
Right.
but there's barely any people in there. Okay, like there's probably like 10 or so in each room. Okay, but there was 100 people outside to get lined up to get a picture next to this Rocky statue, and this
That's
Rocky
crazy.
statue's 8 feet tall,
That's
and
crazy.
it's just he's got his arms up like he's making a touchdown symbol. You know, have you ever seen the Rocky movies?
Yeah, of course.
Of
When
course.
he goes on top of the stairs.
Yeah, and
like,
he raises his arms like an asshole, and he's like, "I did it," you know.
That man worked hard for that.
Shut up. He had a
It was
movie
like a
deal.
10-minute montage.
He
What do you
filmed it
mean?
he filmed it in 10 days. Stop it.
No way.
No. I'm saying,
Oh, I was about
no.
to say, that's crazy.
Yeah, but they actually said that the Coming to America movie was filmed in 10 days.
That's insane.
Isn't that insane that Coming to America, dude, the movie in 1970 or 1980s, I guess, was made in 10 days.
That's pretty insane.
I'm going to look that up just to make sure, but I don't know. I heard that on a podcast, so I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but that's what I heard, that Coming to America was made in 10 days. But what I'm saying is that I can't believe that many people, 100 people lined up to go get a picture with a Rocky statue. It's just like, it was so stupid. It was so stupid.
Looking for an out-of-this-world poster or some stickers to brighten your mood? Check out the Posters and Prints collection on our website, orugastore.com. Our artworks are perfect for walls, mood boards, and anywhere you want to accessorize.
That's like a Michael B. Jordan statue.
Michael B. Jordan statue.
Man, I would stand proud and tall next to a Michael B. Jordan statue.
Stop it. You know what's so
So would
crazy?
every single girl that goes.
You know, Michael B. Jordan is like actually a really good actor, and I actually do like him, but he's just not that iconic. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? He
He's-
could literally steal everyone's girlfriend. What
Oh.
do you mean?
He could, yeah, of course. He could have any. And for the rest of my life, I'll never get a woman that would be like, Michael B. Jordan, he's ugly. I like you better. There's
Like,
no.
if your girl says he's ugly, she's lying
She's
to you.
lying to you.
She's lying.
He's a fucking specimen, and he'll take your girl, I'm sure. But I don't know. Have you ever seen any of the Creed movies?
No.
Nah.
I have not. I don't watch
Nah.
movies. But I did watch a movie with him in it when he was younger called Chronicle. Have you seen that movie?
Chronicle? No. What is that movie?
You don't watch anime, so I can't like.
You're telling me he was
understand.
how was he in a?
All right, there's an anime called Akira or Akira.
Akira. Okay.
It's like Kanye West's favorite anime. And
Sure.
It's about. I'll explain it.
But this doesn't look animated. It's not animated. It's a live action.
It is a live action. It's like this. That story is basically like the same as the other story, but it's been Americanized.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right. It's like Ariel, the new Ariel versus the old Ariel. But like,
you're talking about like
more
Avengers.
separation.
Like Avengers was a.
It's like Avengers and then like DC, the Justice League.
No, I don't think that's a good comparison. Are you?
That's exactly how it is.
Can I get? What I think you're trying to say is that like, okay, there's the comic version, right? And then there's the live action version.
I'm not saying that.
You're saying there's an animated version, and then there's a live action version.
Nah, they're two different stories. It's just like DC, Marvel.
Yeah.
Has the Justice League, and
Sure.
DC has. No, Marvel has Avengers, and the DC has the Justice League.
Okay.
So it's
All
like
right.
a gang of superheroes.
Sure.
That fight.
Okay.
In both scenarios. But
Okay.
like,
was Michael B. Jordan good in this movie?
I can't judge his acting skills. I don't watch movies, but I like the movie.
You like the movie?
I like the movie.
Okay.
I'll explain to you a little tiny bit of the story.
Mm-hmm.
So, they go on spoilers.
Spoiler alert! This movie came out in 2012, so if
Yeah.
you haven't seen it yet, you can go fuck yourself.
There's like a wow.
Just kidding.
You have you seen it?
No, I don't want to see it either.
Go do it right now.
I'll watch it right now. Shit, don't talk, Kahaya. We're gonna pause you, and then I'm gonna go watch that movie.
All right, let's go. No, all right, but I'll explain it real quick. So, something lands in the Earth from space. 3 boys go down and investigate.
Mm-hmm.
They come back out with like powers. They're like psychic. They can like move stuff with their mind and stuff.
Okay.
They can fly.
So
they
like,
can like
okay.
flip people, telekinesis.
Yeah.
And like on an extreme level, they can move cars. They can throw cars.
Okay.
All that jazz. And then so all 3 of the boys had it. And then towards the end, it starts getting a little crazy because they start. Like, being a teenage boy and being able to just move cars with your mind, I don't know, that's pretty crazy.
Sure.
Someone has to tell them.
For how unstable teenage boys usually are, yeah.
Literally,
To be able to move an entire building, I think I would just use that as a ability to pick up chicks, right?
It's a pretty bad idea, isn't it?
It's a horrible idea.
So they were, like, trying to set rules, like, how to use these powers safely and...
Okay.
What's that word we learned from Enid?
Oh,
God.
So
ethical.
Ethical.
Ethically use their powers so it doesn't hurt people.
Yeah. Is this decision ethical and good for other human beings? For
Yes.
sure.
Yeah, so one of them gets a little edgy and decides to use their powers unethically, and then one of them ends up dying.
Cool.
I don't want to spoil the whole thing, honestly. I want you to watch this movie.
It's actually, you know what's the crazy thing is it's got 85% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Is that good?
It's amazing, actually. Most,
Yes, sir.
I don't know, like most good. Like if I'm going to see if a movie's quality to watch, usually I'll go on Rotten Tomatoes, and if it's above a 75, it's usually like, okay, this isn't too bad.
Is that enough of an explanation for you to want to watch this movie?
I
Or live
mean,
on the cliff?
well, their cover's in Seattle. That's kind of funny. The cover of the movie posters, the Space Needle, which is kind of funny. This doesn't look like a bad movie. I just never heard of it. I literally have never heard of this thing. But I will say that Michael B. Jordan looks like
a child.
He looks like such a little boy.
He does.
He looks like such a little boy. Look at him. He's like 22 probably in this, but
I literally watched it this year, and I was like, he's filming like Wakanda and whatnot, so he's like big, he's buff and everything. He's a man that will steal your girl.
he's a fucking man.
And I
for
watched
sure.
this and I was like, no way that's Michael B. Jordan.
I know.
It was like looking at Drake before he was a rapper.
Dude, that's so funny that you say that. Drake before, let's say, Take Care, that album, before Take Care, he looked like such a little dork. And God bless him. Like, I love Drake now.
Now he's going to send the mafia to us.
I hope he does. Bruh, send the 6 over.
Oh my God. We'll give him t-shirts.
Dude, that's literally the person I want to talk to so bad.
Next podcast with Drake.
We're actually getting sponsored by OVO.
Oh
so,
my God.
Drake's gonna be on the next podcast. Aubrey, actually. Aubrey's his real name.
I don't know.
That's what
informal right there. Using his first name. That's crazy.
Shit, bro. Because we're buds, you know.
Bruh.
Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, Michael B. Jordan does look like a little boy in this. Or it gives me hope. Maybe I won't look like a little boy eventually.
That's crazy.
That's so crazy.
Boys to men.
Yeah, literally. But I'm gonna look up how old Michael B. Jordan is. Michael B. Jordan.
23.
36.
That's insane.
36. Bro, he's so old. Jesus. So if he's 36 and this happened, this was 2012, that's a decade ago. That means he was 26 in the Chronicle. He doesn't even look 26 in the Chronicle. He looks like a young boy, doesn't he?
Jeez Louise.
Jesus. That's so crazy. Well, I guess he would actually be 25. Because that's the year difference. It's 11 years. That's still wild, right?
That's pretty wild.
You know, Michael B. Jordan does look like he should be a rapper, though. Doesn't he? Like, Michael B. Jordan...
That's racist.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I don't think so at all. That's not racist, whatever.
Looks like Ice Cube, is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, like Ice Cube.
No, not Ice Cube.
No. Who is that dude?
Party in the Club.
Shut up. It is not... It's...
50 Cent.
It's like not 50 Cent. No. I'm saying... Well, 50 Cent was an actor, too.
Oh, you're right.
50 Cent was an actor, but who's into Django? God, I can't believe Django. He's in Django. I'm talking about...
That's crazy.
Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx was a musician. Let's say musician. I don't want to say he's a rapper, but he was a musician. He made a lot of great songs.
You want to hear a Michael B. Jordan song?
Yeah, I do actually.
I see.
I think he'd be okay at it.
Like what is it? Rihanna was an actor first.
Was she actually?
Nah, I think it was Ariana Grande.
That's facts.
She was an actor first?
Yeah, because she was on this Disney show.
Yeah.
I watched a Disney show with her. It was like the Disney show was
kind of like iCarly, but not iCarly.
No, not even close to iCarly. iCarly was iconic, but
it was like the one in the high school, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, the high school was a prep high school for
music,
for just artists.
I see.
It was like, yeah,
your dream school.
Your dream school as a Disney person.
Crazy.
If you wanted to be a Disney person or a Disney child, you would want to be in this school, you know.
Speaking of Jake Paul, was it Jake Paul or Logan Paul on Disney? That was on Disney.
No, I think they were just YouTube stars.
No, they were on Disney.
Shut
I
up.
remember watching the show and seeing them, and it just looked so
They
weird.
were not.
They were.
Dude, okay.
I'm
the
serious.
Paul brothers.
Dead serious.
Disney show. What? There's a Wikipedia fandom page. Jake Paul, yeah. Jake Paul was a...
Were they both on it?
Nah, they just say Jake.
I don't even remember what that show was about, but yeah. It's crazy. I feel like he didn't pass the singing part.
Or just being PR. I don't think he passed good PR. Yeah.
Bizarre Vart. Bruh. Remember that?
No, I don't.
Remember that.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember the show, but I remember that word. It was weird. The show was weird.
Jesus.
That's why it has a weird name.
I remember just Disney, man. Disney when I was like a kid was so cringy. Like I just remember not liking Disney as a child because of how like
that's crazy.
Overproduced it was. Oh my god.
I liked Disney XD, and like some of the shows branched off from Disney XD.
For sure, Disney XD was great actually. As like a young kid, which XD was just like a partner, like a partner channel. I would say that. Like there was the traditional Disney Channel, and then there was the Disney XD channel, and the Disney XD channel had like all the animation ones. And the animation shows were way better than their actual live action shows. Because, what was it? Like, Good Luck Charlie.
Oh my god.
Dude, that was so cringy.
I hated when, like, all the kid channels, and that was the only thing to watch, Good Luck Charlie. I was like, bruh.
Good Luck Charlie was painful. I remember when I was, like, 10 years old, and I was at my house, and my cousins came over. And my cousins were the same age as me. We're 10 years old. And I was like, yo, let's go play outside. Like, I got a basketball hoop. We can go ride our bikes. Let's go do something. And I just remember them like, no, Good Luck Charlie's on.
That's crazy. What? I think I've actually watched every episode of Good Luck Charlie.
I think I have too.
I watched them grow up. Bro. That's crazy.
I know. And that little kid fucked up now. That little girl, that Charlie girl, fucked up now.
You're serious?
Would assume so. Dude, do you think
No, they have to still be like.
Stop.
They're not even a teen yet.
No. She's definitely a teen.
No. That's a lie. She was older when she was being recorded than I think she was in the first place. But like,
she's a fucking teen now, bro.
No.
She's 14 years old.
That's
14, bro.
You're not a teen until you're 15.
Stop it. Stop it.
You have to go through that edgy phase.
Whatever, bro.
She's a child.
Could you imagine growing up and they're like, here, do you want to see yourself as a baby?
Oh my god.
Watch all these episodes. And then you start thinking, oh, I must be important. Oh my gosh. I was filmed, blah, blah. And then I'm saying these. Imagine giving a script. She's got 1 million fucking followers, dude. This chick has got 1 million.
That's insane.
Followers. Oh my god.
She still posts the baby pictures?
She's still posting the baby pictures. This girl would be so not cool to have, like, hang around.
You don't know that. Don't be hating.
I'm so hating, dude.
Don't be hating.
Imagine the ego you have to have, bro.
It could be cool.
Oh, man. Maybe she is a cool girl. I don't know. Who knows? All I know is
Good luck, Charlie, trying to come on the podcast.
Yeah, bitch. You want to get on the podcast? Mia T. Taylorico.
And it is all acting.
And this is her first thing that she put. The first thing she puts in her bio is Charlie. Dash. Good luck, Charlie. Kiss my ass.
Her name is not Charlie, is it?
No, her name's not Charlie. Her name's Mia.
Hey, if you were acting for Spider-Man, wouldn't you put Spider-Man in your bio?
Kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. I don't know. Like, I don't have a beef. I don't have a beef with actors. If that's what you wanted, if you're fucking...
But she's setting that, like, what if her parents were like us? Like, what if you just had a kid and you're like, you know what, I'm broke. I'm going to send my kid to go act on Disney.
That's literally slavery. What you're producing your child.
The money goes to her later on, so it's like for her better future.
But you know how often those parents funnel the money to them? All the time. Because imagine.
Man.
Think Kahaya.
Look at the Zach and Cody twins though. They're doing good.
I don't know actually. I don't know. But I just know that child actors are fucked from the get-go. Because when I was 12 years old, you know what I like doing? Legos. I didn't like working on a set and pretending 24/7. Do you know what I mean?
Fair.
Like, I just couldn't imagine talking to an executive and they're like, you know, Kahaya, when you're doing this, you're kind of playing around, and you're like, I'm sorry, I do want to stay on whatever show I'm on. You know, like, I just couldn't imagine working at 12 years old Like, I just couldn't imagine doing that. And that's what they did, is they worked at 12 years old. And I loved that show. The what were they called? Zach and Cody?
Yeah, that one hard.
That was a good show. They did great. But
their parents, I think, were, like, wealthy, so, like, they didn't take their money.
That's cool. But, okay, back to your example of you think that these kids are going to be set for life. And that's probably true. But there's been many cases of parents being broke as fuck, and they'll be like, you know, our child's got millions in the bank. Let's just get a little bit. Let's buy a home. Let's go on vacation. Fuck, we deserve a vacation. Yes. And then they start stealing and embezzling money from their child. I mean, like, that's happened. I couldn't. There's more fingers on my hand. Could I find examples of basically parents pimping their kids?
I'm gonna pimp my kid for Jesus.
For Jesus?
For Jesus. You're going to church every Sunday.
For every Sunday, and then you're gonna make a Jesus show, and then he's gonna be the little.
Oh my God.
He's gonna be the little false prophet.
No, I can't do that.
Oh gosh. That's a lot. Okay, so I think we did well. Let's wrap this up. So this is the Oruga OP. Excuse me. This isn't Oruga OP. This is the OP show.
Overpowered.
Oh, Oruga Podcast. This is the Oruga Podcast show. So, I'm your host, Preston.
My name is Kahaya.
And you can follow us at Shop Oruga, or, if you want some merch, go to orugastore.com, which that is ORUGA store.com, or just look us up on Google. Please give us a follow. Please give us a like. Please, to God, that would help us out. All right, you have a wonderful day.
And we got to be ready.
Visit orugastore.com today and enter the discount code OP15 for 15% off your order on all Oruga merch. Free shipping for orders over $50 is available as well. Thank you. The Oruga Podcast.
Somehow somebody's always looking the other way. Now look at these guys. They look busy, right?